Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Now ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think that the world is falling apart, just stay tuned and check out the stories that I've got for you today. The first one being crushed bug additive is now included in pizza, pasta, cereals across the EU. And if you don't think that this is coming to a city near you, think twice, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because these large companies that process the foods that most Americans eat, they're part of ESG. If they want to play, they have to pay. And how are they paying? They are paying by following the steps that the ESG, i.e. the SDG from the United Nations, is telling them to follow. So these large corporations, the ones that process most of our foods, eventually they're going to start doing this. And you're not going to be able to find foods out there that don't have this stuff in it. The FDA, now this is my opinion and this is what I think will happen. The FDA will eventually say, hey, bugs are good for you to eat. Whether you're allergic to crustaceans or anything like that, bugs are good for you to eat. Because they want to normalize this, because that's what they want for us to eat in the future. As they sit in their ivory towers and eat their steaks. As of yesterday, a food additive made out of powdered crickets began appearing in foods from pizza to pasta to cereals across the European Union. This comes thanks to a European Commission ruling passed earlier this month, and I believe that we talked about that on a previous video. As per the decision, which cited the scientific opinion of the European Food Safety Authority, the additive is safe to use in a whole range of products, including but not limited to cereal bars, biscuits, pizza, pasta-based products, and whey protein. You all remember something that they told us throughout the world 3 years back that was also safe to use, and now we're discovering, unfortunately, that maybe it wasn't that safe, that maybe we should have waited and seen what happened. But I digress. But don't worry, because the crickets first have to be checked to make sure that they discard their bowel content before being frozen. So what I think they do is I think that they put them in water or something like that, and it makes them bring out their stuff. But anyways, pretty nasty stuff. Critics suggest that once bugs become widely accepted as a food additive, their consumption will be normalized across the board. Just what I said. They want to normalize this because they want you eating bugs, ladies and gentlemen. You are not intelligent enough to be over your own body. You're not smart enough to control what you yourself can consume or your family can consume. They have to tell you what to eat. Yet, rather than mindlessly obey the experts, as most did with what I just talked about, people have resisted. And you should resist. Start to grow your own food. Start to put food away now that it's still somewhat real food. And they continue to say here that this will allow them to reveal in the near future that we have already been eating bugs. So there is no reason to object to them shutting down farms and imposing a new diet. You understand, it's them. It's their will that they want to put upon you. And just for those of you that may not know this, we eat bugs every single day. Pretty much all of the food that you have, there's some bugs in it. But that's not the point. The point is that if you want to eat bugs, go ahead and eat bugs. If that's what makes you happy, go ahead and eat bugs. But it shouldn't be forced on anyone, either by lying to them, telling them that it's not in the food when it is, or making them do it because they're shutting down other processing plants of real food and instead feeding people bugs. That's the world that we are in, ladies and gentlemen. It's no longer the world that we're heading into. It's the world that we're in. So take the steps that you feel are appropriate for you and your family to be prepared enough to be able to resist this when it comes to a city near you. I'm not really going to get into these, but I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy of what is the United States government and how it is we the people that will end up paying the price. Yuma, Arizona, on the brink of collapse due to unprecedented migrant surge. The border city of Yuma, Arizona is on the brink of collapse as a flood of migrants have overloaded hospitals and food banks. Let that sink in for a minute. According to officials, some 5 million migrants have crossed in the United States since President Biden took office in January of 2021, As a result, Yuma County's Border Patrol has seen a rise in migrant crossings of 171%, according to County Supervisor Jonathan Lines. The county will crumble if it can't support the flow of migrants, and Lines says that the situation will only get worse. Well, that's okay, ladies and gentlemen, because on top of giving our treasures away to people that maybe should have come in here the right way, Ukraine pivots to F-16 fighter jets hours after securing tanks. So this article here pretty much says that Ukraine is pretty much getting everything that they asked for. So they asked for munitions, they got munitions. They asked for Bradley vehicles and Strikers, they're getting those if they don't already have them. They asked for tanks, now they're getting tanks. And now they want F-16s. And in their opinion, as far as what this article says here, that they pretty much think that they can get anything that they want, at least from the U.S., with the exception of nuclear warheads. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen, when the government says, hey, we need to raise the debt ceiling. Why are they raising the debt ceiling? Because they will raise the debt ceiling. All right, that's pretty much guaranteed. Remember that what gives government power is fiat currency. So in order for them to make more fiat currency out of thin air so that it can steal your wealth, so that it can steal your time, the value, and the spending power in your dollars, they have to print more. That's what gives them power, plain and simple. But think about that next time that they want to raise the fiat currency or the debt. Well, when I first started reading this, U.S. to increase artillery ammunition production, I was like, oh, that's great, because we're really low on ammunition production or ammunition in this country. We're really low on our stock for us to be able to protect ourselves. So they're increasing it by 500%, but not for us, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see here, that the Pentagon is planning to boost its production of artillery ammunition by 500% over the next 2 years. So did you think that this conflict in Eastern Europe was only going to last 2 weeks or a month or only a year? No, they're planning 2 years ahead of time. It means that we are in this for the long term, which means that the longer that we're in this, the lower that your purchasing power is going to get. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I look at these things as far as money, because money is your time, it's your freedom, and that is what is being stolen from you. When you think of government stealing away from you your freedom, you might think, oh, they passed a law that's trying to restrict the Second Amendment, which there shouldn't be any laws that should be even on the books or even being tried to be passed to restrict the Second Amendment, because there's one law, the law of the land, the Constitution of the United States of America, that says, right, that it should not be infringed upon. So I don't understand why these laws even go up, but in a way I do understand. We have people running the government that want to control us. And the only way that you're going to be able to fully control a population is not by food, ladies and gentlemen, is if you take away their right to defend themselves. All you have to do is study a little bit of history. All right, so it says, as the U.S. is depleting its military stockpiles by sending millions of shells to the Big U. So again, we are taking from we, the American people, giving it away. And make sure you understand that this has nothing to do with the Big U. It has nothing to do with any particular country. It has to do with that this government right here is taking away from us, the people that need it here in the United States, and giving away to others, as there are people here in need. But, you know, I think they found a solution, ladies and gentlemen. They found a solution that's going to fix all their worries, and it's going to fix our worries too. I don't know why they haven't done this earlier. They're going to print $1 trillion coin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they're thinking about this again. They thought about this back, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and now they're thinking about it again. Let's go ahead and print $1 trillion coin out of platinum. Man, I wish they did. Because if platinum went up to $1 trillion, I have like a half-ounce platinum coin that I bought a couple years back. Man, that would be a $500 billion coin. Oh, it doesn't work for the average person on the street. It only works for government. So who's government here for, ladies and gentlemen? For you, for we the people, or for them? Wake up, America. Wake up that we the people, are in this together. And government is the one that we should be criticizing, not each other. The government will not be there to help you or to save you. They'll print $1 trillion coin so that they can keep devaluing your labor by devaluing the dollars that you work for, so that they can then give that to other countries, but not you. So that they can then let people come into our country without coming in the front door, and then provide them with medical attention, provide them with food, while we the American people go without. Any of you that are here that may be new, thank you very much, first of all, for joining in. But I want to explain something to you. If you've been here long enough, and I would say that those of you that have been here for a while, for a long enough time, would understand and believe me when I tell you that I love humanity and I love my country. But we have to take care of our house first. And if we keep going down this road, printing $1 trillion coin, are you serious? I mean, that's ridiculous. Putting crickets in foods that people buy so that they can feed their children, and leaving them pretty much with no other choice because of this ESG thing, it will carry over to the U.S., ladies and gentlemen. Understand this. These practices will carry over to the United States. And the best way that we can resist, we can resist, number one, be prepared. Be as prepared as you possibly can. That way, when you go to the grocery store and all of the breads that are there have crickets in them, you can make your own bread because you have your own flour that you put away, because you have your own wheat berries that you put away. And that bread, it can stay there and turn stale and get moldy, and we can leave it on their shelves. That's how we can resist, ladies and gentlemen. But the first and foremost, the best way that a population can resist and stay free long term, never ever give up your Second Amendment. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look at history, those that gave up their right to protect themselves, they are no more. Just take a look. In the last century or so, I think it was over 300 million people who succumbed to democide. And if you don't know what democide is, go ahead and look it up and do a little bit of research. Having said that, I hope you have a good day. I am doing a little experiment today. I'm not sure if you see that back there, but I should have a review video coming out later on today, and it's turning out pretty good so far, but I'm not going to spoil it for you all. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. God bless every one of you, and I hope to see you all during tomorrow's live stream at 2 p.m. Alaska time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And guess what? It's the last Friday of January, and we have dedicated the month of January to January giveaway month, all right, where we give something away every single Friday, just to show you how much I appreciate everything that you all do by just coming on over here. And I almost never ask this, but let's see if you can give it a like. I'm not sure how much difference it makes. Other than that, God bless you all. Have a great day.